In the first episode, we spoke with the manager of Scienceworks about the new Star Wars Where Science Meets Imagination exhibition. Well, this week we're going to have a closer look at those exhibits. Well, what is the Star Wars story all about? Well, I suppose you could say it's the story of a father who tries to get his son to join the family business. But there's a bit more to it than that. George Lucas wanted the film to have the subtitle The Tragedy of Darth Vader, because essentially that's what it's all about. If you watch the movies from episode 1 all the way through to episode 6, you'll see it's the story of young Anakin Skywalker, who starts off as a slave and then becomes a Jedi, which is loosely based on the Japanese samurai. He then gets tempted to the dark side by the evil Emperor and becomes a Sith Lord. Years later, when the Jedi are no more, his son Luke learns the Jedi craft from Anakin's old tutor, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and his tutor, Master Yoda, so that he can defeat Darth Vader and the Emperor and bring balance to the Force. I hope you are following all of that, because there'll be questions afterwards. It's almost a combination of science fiction and Lord of the Rings. But where did it all get started? What inspired George Lucas to write this story in the first place? Stanley Kubrick's epic 2001 A Space Odyssey from 1969 was a big influence on George Lucas, especially the spaceships, and no doubt the use of music. But that wasn't the only influence, especially when he was looking for a storyline.
Well, I mean, he got it mostly from the Joseph Campbell, Hero of a Thousand Faces, so that storyline's very archetypal, yeah. The Akira Kurosawa movie, The Hidden Fortress, you could say that Star Wars is a rip-off of that. If you get a chance to see The Hidden Fortress, and you see the two farmers that come along with the princess and the samurai warrior, it's R2-D2 and C-3PO. And George acknowledges that that's where he got the references from.
So now we've talked about the films, let's go have a look at those exhibits. If you love great big models, then there are 3 in the exhibition you're definitely going to want to see. First is the Tantive 4, shown in the opening scene of Episode 4, A New Hope. At the time it was Princess Leia's blockade runner. Better close-up shots were seen in Return of the Jedi. Was later seen again in Episode 3, although this time it was CGI and not a model. As you can see, it's incredibly detailed, sometimes too good.
In the Princess Leia's Tantive 4, in the Rebel Blockade Runner, on the back wall there's a little Playboy pin-up about yay big, and there's a little Star Wars poster in there as well too. So yeah, they had a bit too much time on their hands when they made the models.
Here is Luke Skywalker's beloved land speeder. This is the genuine article, complete with genuine dents and scratches, but as can be seen, it runs on 3 wheels rather than levitating. The levitating was achieved by placing a mirror underneath the car and reflecting the sand underneath it, thus obscuring the wheels.